This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, my dear Year 6 students. Today in this video, I'm going to explain you the breathing system. I would like you to take your copy book to make note of the title, the lesson, what lesson is about, and the lesson objectives. We have 3 lesson objectives today, which are the following. We are going to look at the main organism respiratory system. I'm going to describe you what's happening when you breathe in, which is also known as inhalation, and what happens when you breathe out, exhalation. So these two are two separate processes. So inhalation and exhalation processes are two different things. And lastly, we'll shortly describe what's happening to your breathing rate when you do exercise. So this diagram over here shows you the main organs in the respiratory system or in the breathing system. So what we have here, the air you breathe in with your nose or with your mouth enters the nasal cavity, then it goes down here to trachea. The trachea is a long tube, it's a very steep long tube. It's also known as windpipe. So please remember both of them, trachea or windpipe. And the windpipe, when it reaches to the lungs, it's kind of branching into right side and left side because the air needs to go to your right lung and left lung. These two branches that come from trachea, they are known as bronchus. So we have two bronchus, right bronchus that leads the air into the right lung, and the left bronchus that leads the air to left lung. Then the bronchus itself also branches to bronchioles. These things are here, bronchioles. At the end of bronchioles, we have alveoli, which are very tiny air sacs, and they're covered with a lot of capillaries, and they have more, let's say, adaptations for their functions. We'll come to that in more detail in the next video. Then over here we have diaphragm. Diaphragm has a role in the process of breathing in and breathing out. I'll explain it in the next slides. Then, as you already know, that the rib cage is responsible for protecting your lungs, right? So this rib cage over here, it's not shown as a rib cage, but we can see here the ribs that makes up your rib cage. In between the ribs, we actually have the muscles, right? Between the bones, we have the muscles that allows them to be able to move. So these muscles also has role in breathing in and breathing out. I will describe it in the next slides. So what is happening when you inhale, when you breathe in? What happens when you exhale, when you breathe out? So what is breathing? You know that you breathe in to get the oxygen that is very useful gas for your cells for the process of cellular respiration. We have been talking about it. You know already what's respiration. Let me shortly describe it once again. So basically, we discussed it and we said that respiration is a process where by using oxygen and food, our cells get energy. That is important for us. So, you know that oxygen is a needed gas for respiration, and what is formed in respiration, there were two things, which were carbon dioxide and water vapor. So you are breathing out to get rid of this carbon dioxide and water vapor. So the movement of air into your lungs down here goes through trachea, then bronchus, bronchioles, alveoli, and etc. So the air goes in and it goes out. This process is known as ventilation. So the movement of air into the lung and out of the lung is known as ventilation. So breathing in and breathing out is a separate process, two separate processes. We are going to call breathing in as inhalation and breathing out as exhalation. So if you want to try this, you can go on. Take a deep breath, and when you breathe in, put your hands like this in the bottle. So what you will see is that when you inhale, when you breathe in, your hands are going to move up and outward because your chest is getting bigger and your chest is also moves up and outward. But when you exhale, when you breathe out, your chest is going downward and inward. So your hands also, they will move down and inward. Let's see what's happening in more detail. So we said that the diaphragm, which is a big muscle sheet, this diaphragm over here, and we talked about the muscles in between your ribs, which we can also call intercostal muscles, meaning that between the ribs, they are responsible for breathing in and breathing out. So when you breathe in, what happens to diaphragm is that diaphragm is located beneath your lungs. So when you breathe in, your lungs are getting bigger in size because the air moves into them. Their volume increases, so they get bigger in size. So this dome-shaped diaphragm is going to move down. And when it moves down, it's going to look like this. It will become flattened. Okay, like it was like this, dome shape, normally, like before you inhale. And when you inhale, your lungs above them, above this actually, diaphragm, it's time to kind of push it downward. So this is what is going on. It was like this. Now when you inhale, it becomes like this. So when you breathe out, the opposite is going to happen. When you breathe out, the diaphragm is going to its original shape, to dome shape, because your lungs are now getting rid of that air, so their size is decreasing. So the diaphragm is now relaxing and getting back to its original shape. So in more detail, the air that comes in through the trachea goes to your lungs. When you breathe in, the lungs get bigger in size. They push outward. That causes the ribs move outward, right, and out. So muscles that are between the ribs, they are contracting and they are pulling your chest up and out. And the diaphragm is contracting as well, and it goes down. So the lungs, that all causes the lungs increase in size because they are now full with air, and when the volume is increasing inside, the pressure is decreasing. And we know that air is usually always is moving from high pressure to lower pressure. So it moves into your lungs. The air rushes into your mouth, okay? Into your lungs, sorry. So when you breathe in, when you breathe out, the opposite is going to happen. So the muscles between your ribs, intercostal muscles, they are relaxing. So you see how it's different from the previous photo. So your lungs are now smaller than they were before. It's because you're breathing out, the air is going out, your ribs therefore goes down and they move inward, and the diaphragm is now dome shaped. So this table over here describes and summarizes what's happening in inhalation and exhalation. So the diaphragm, you need to know what's happening to the diaphragm. Is it becoming flat? Is it becoming dome shaped? Ribs are going up or down, in or out. So when you inhale once again, your ribs are going up and out. When you exhale, they move down and inward. The diaphragm, when you inhale, becomes flattened, and when you exhale, they become dome shaped. So this is the same thing that we already discussed. The last one, breathing during exercise. We actually have discussed it already. I'm going to mention shortly here also. So you know that in order to do exercise, you need to use up a lot of energy. So when you do exercise, your muscles are going actually to use a lot of energy of you. So the rate of respiration should increase, meaning that respiration should happen faster, so they provide you with enough energy to move on with your exercise. And for respiration to happen, you need to remember that we need oxygen. And how do we get oxygen? You breathe in the air. So when you do exercise, what's happening to your breathing rate? Your breathing rate should increase, meaning that you should breathe in more. I mean, like you breathe in more to get more oxygen into your cells so they can respire more, and they respire more, they produce more carbon dioxide, and so they get rid of carbon dioxide more. So your breathing rate altogether increases to help you to get more oxygen, and at the same time to help you to get rid of the waste carbon dioxide. And the heart rate increases. Why does heart rate increases? Because you know that oxygen and glucose, carbon dioxide, and water vapor, all useful things and waste substances, they are all transported in our blood. And what is pumping that blood is your heart. So your heart should pump faster, so they provide enough oxygen and glucose to your cells so you can respire, you can make more energy, and at the same time, they can take the waste substances like carbon dioxide and water vapor, and they can get rid of it, okay, from your muscles. So that's all about today's topic. So what we did, we went through the main organs in the respiratory system. We looked at the process of inhalation and exhalation, and we shortly described what happens when you do exercise. Why do your breathing rate and your heart rate increases?